Hi guys, welcome back to Compound. Today we have got our Austrian Grand Prix race review. I am joined by Jack.
Hello.
Hello. Um,
Hello.
so Jack, start us off. What did you think of the Austrian Grand Prix? The same track for within
Max Max
7 days.
Supermax. There's nothing else you can say apart from Max Max Supermax. You there, the Red Bull Ring. Max again, finishing almost like not as much as last week, but almost half a lap ahead of Hamilton. Not Hamilton, Bottas even. Sorry, slipped up there. The Orange Army was in full force. The track on the outlap, and then the finishing lap was literally covered in orange smoke. It's Red Bull through and through. An amazing weekend if you're a Red Bull fan. Also, if you're an Orange fan, McLaren Lando Norris coming in P3, which I thought was pretty amazing for him.
I
What are your
thought
thoughts on the race?
I thought Norris coming P3 was great. He struggled last week, knew that his race was sort of P5 and onwards to try and stay ahead of the Ferraris, but I heard his team radio at the end when he finished and got told P3, and he was annoyed because he should have got
Yeah,
P2. And I think the the ruling for him getting a penalty is a load of rubbish. And he was within 5 seconds of Bottas as well.
it was about 2-3 seconds
Exactly.
towards the end. He got down to like 1.5, but
Mm,
obviously dropped back. I'm assuming because of dirty air and heat.
yeah,
But
but
yeah, he
with
yeah,
with that whole 5 second penalty thing, same thing then happened as well for Perez. I think the whole race weekend, well, the whole race kind of felt really niggly for like the first half
yeah,
of it. Like it was just penalty after penalty. Like you saw, Sonoda was it who went and cut the white line to come into the pits
twice. He did that
twice.
twice.
Yeah, like both times. And then it just seemed like there were so many like penalties coming up. And then at one point, the commentators were like, "Oh yeah, Perez has got a 5 second penalty." It's like, no, he's got a 10 second penalty. And then they had to like
Yeah.
check and everything.
Because
Um,
five, he obviously had the two of them. His instance with Charles Leclerc, similarly around the track.
mm,
Uh, I thought, surprisingly, a good race from Carlos Sainz. The strategy at Ferrari, I was surprised when I was looking at it. Some people had pitted twice, some people pitted once. Carlos still hadn't pitted. We're getting long into this race now. He was on the hards.
hmm
But then remember, these are the mediums from last week, the mediums that didn't go that long. So seeing him out there, was it 40, 50 laps in before he pitted at that point? And he comes in, and I was like, the strategy paid off. Obviously, P5 for Ferrari.
from
Uh,
P10, yeah.
yeah, not a bad drive for him. Going for the rest of the field, I mean, a heartbreak for George Russell again. It's just not his. He had an amazing race towards the end, fight with Fernando
Yeah.
Alonso. Just, you've got world champion Fernando Alonso behind you in a car that's better than you. You're struggling. You see the time to keep dropping off is going point 0.6, point 0.5, point 0.4, point 0.2. So amazing
Yeah.
defense by George.
And
Even Lewis, but yeah,
this is a car that Alonso said should have been P3 or P4 on the grid, but
yeah,
then got held up by Vettel to try and start his qualifying lap. And then it was nice to see them both, Russell and Alonso, put on their Instagram, like in press conferences and stuff, and said how nice it was to have that battle. And obviously for George, it's nice to be having a mid-table battle with someone like Alonso and not be down there.
I mean, it's
You
better
know,
than fighting with Bottas and crashing into a barrier. Just, but
well, I was going to say, battling against rookies who are struggling to,
yeah,
keep it off the
control the cars.
bottom row of the grid.
Can I just also say, at one point I was looking at my screen and I went, oh, 49 seconds for Mazepin. Oh, he's not that far. You know it because interval time or leader time. I assumed it was time from the leader. No, that was time from Mick. Mazepin was 49 seconds behind Mick at one point, and I was
Yeah.
looking at like how. Okay, you're both in the same car. I've seen a little bit in the press recently of Mazepin, and he doesn't do that bad, guys. I feel a bit bad for beating on him, but he has done dodgy things, so I don't really care. But you look at it and just think, how? Okay, Haas aren't developing, the car is shit. Your own teammate in all of Formula One, as long as you're beating your teammate, that's the best you can ask for,
hmm
because it proves that's the only guy with the same advantage.
It's your
Or,
first,
sorry,
your
the same
first
playing
rival.
field as you.
Your
Yeah,
first rival is
he's the
always
same
your
playing
teammate.
field as you. Everyone else has got different strategies, different teams, different engine, different everything. But the way to measure yourself is off your teammate. And if you're almost a lap behind your teammate and you're sat in P19 just because Ocon DNF'd,
Yeah.
you got to be thinking, right, someone like Stroll, they're building up into it. Someone like Latifi, even I would say Latifi, he must be shitting bricks right now because you've got like Jack Aitken and people like that breathing down his neck. But
And then you've got George doing what he's doing.
yeah, George is basically showing you up, being like, yeah, mate, same car, I'm in Q3, you can't get out of Q1, what you doing kind of situation. But again, going from the new blood to the old blood, a bit of a tussle towards the end of Vettel into the side of Kimi Räikkönen.
That was weird, wasn't it?
Vettel got the ground, Kimi went to the side of him.
Kimi just didn't realise he was there. Like, it was
He was angry that race. Every time he was on the radio, he was effing and blood, and he was fuming. He was going off on the radios.
He was told not to run wide at turn 10, and then he was like, well, why the fuck did you tell me now? I've just gone through turn 10. Why didn't you tell me before?
It was also, this is lap 69 of 71, so it's a bit like 2 laps is going to do not a lot to the car. It's like, you're telling me now? Why? But all in all, I thought, it wasn't as boring as the race before.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Obviously,
I think Lewis had kind of admitted defeat. Like, I think he knew that he just wanted to get back to Silverstone, reset, go again, because they didn't really make any ground on.
He had been on the simulator this week, though. They did say Lewis never does simulator work, and he was in the simulator a lot this week, which shows, as our last video said, the mental game. If he doesn't do simulators, he doesn't like doing simulators, but he started doing them again, which is proving to himself that he's showing that he's not doubting himself, but he wants to improve his ability and skill when he's not on the track.
Could just
he
be
wants to try and hone it in.
He's up for he's up for the fight, and he wants to get everything out of the car that he can. And when you've got Bottas, who was so much quicker than Lewis, being let through, even though Lewis is second in the world championship.
I was surprised by. They went from "don't race Valtteri" to "Valtteri, we're going to switch you."
Well, no, it was at first it was "you can race," and then it was just like, invert the cars, let him through, do not try and fight it at all. But it was weird to see. Lewis said the tires are gone, and the tires were actually gone for once. Like, he then actually came in and pitted.
Which I thought
still set a fastest lap before he did.
Yeah, I thought the tyres were gone. Lewis is now about to go screaming up the board. Tyres are gone. Bono, AWS says 10%. 20 laps later, still says 10% kind of job. But no, I thought obviously Lewis, I did like when he had that little battle with Lando and was like, oh, he's a good driver. Like, on the radios, didn't have to say that. Came out his way and said Lando had a good drive. But yeah, all in all, I thought it was better than last week's. But I'm excited for Silverstone because obviously got the new race formats with the sprint race.
I think that'll be really interesting. Interesting to see how they set up for that as well.
I'm liking it in Formula 2 as well. I want to see how it affects how this works out. But yeah, thank you for watching. Cheers all that. Like, subscribe, comment down below. See you guys later.